Excellency the Governor is very intelligent, is very hardworking, is very focused, and even with the lean resources that was coming into Akwa Ibom State, he was able to manage it effectively. And so we didn't actually have issues concerning finances and all that. In the Science and Technology Ministry, before I went into that ministry, I had a lot of stories about the ministry. This is where erring civil servants are dumped. In other words, if you commit any sin or any crime in any other ministry, if they want to punish you, they will send you to the Ministry of Science and Technology, because they had believed then that nothing happens in that ministry. It was like a dead ministry. And so anybody that is sent to that ministry, first of all, will react negatively. Why me? Why Ministry of Science and Tech? Why me? But when I got into that ministry, I tried as much as possible to be very, very positive. I told them that no, just like any other ministry, this is going to be a very vibrant ministry. And we started work. You know, some of the vehicles that were abandoned, we had to refurbish the vehicles. I went there, I met a commissioner's office that was not even fit for my personnel, my PA, and I said, no, this is not a good one. And with the cooperation of the permanent secretary and other directors of the ministry, we were able to put up a befitting commissioner's office. And that, I think, should be my legacy. And then went on to see the e-library that was actually handed over to the ministry by His Excellency the Governor. He felt the Ministry of Science and Technology should take care of the e-library. And so we got to see an e-library that was more or less a library without an E attached to it. And we tried to revitalize the e-library. His Excellency studies the program you have thrown at him, and then at the back of his mind he's like, what will be the benefits of this program if it is implemented on the generality of Akwa Ibom people? If it is something that will benefit Akwa Ibom people, he buys it immediately. If it is something that will not benefit Akwa Ibom people, he will not buy it. And he will take his time to explain to you why that program does not go down well with him. And by the time he finishes, explaining it to you, you will also be convinced that he has done the right thing. As far as his performance is concerned, he has done so well. Apart from in the area of science and technology, if you look at the road network in Akwa Ibom State, it's unprecedented. But you see, His Excellency is one man that does not know how to make noise about anything. He will embark on a very viable, very laudable programs, and yet he might not even make noise. You might not even hear him talk about it until he is done with that program. But in politics, sometimes you have to make so much noise. You understand? And most times I will say, Your Excellency, you are not talking. Your Excellency, you should talk. And he's like, no, why should I talk? I mean, my people have to see what I am doing. I don't have to tell them. I don't have to talk much. So he doesn't believe in talking too much about any program, but by the time he finishes with that program, you will really appreciate what he has done. So he's done very well, very well. I will describe His Excellency as somebody that is very intelligent, somebody that is very focused, somebody that loves Akwa Ibom State, somebody that loves the people of Akwa Ibom State, somebody that wants to take Akwa Ibom State to a very high level, somebody that is not self-centered, a talk and do man, somebody that if he says I'm going to do this, for sure he will do that. If he says I'm not going to do this, he will give you his reasons why he's not going to do it. And so that is the way I see him, a very hard-working young man. Somebody that is accessible, somebody that is always available. I mean, nobody can say, I have been wanting to see His Excellency for the past 2 years, I cannot see him. Very humble. She's a woman with a golden heart. She's somebody that will want everybody around her, everybody in the state, every woman in the state to be rich. And everybody that every morning you wake up, there's food 3 times on your table, but unfortunately, she cannot achieve that. But this is a woman that sympathizes with you anytime you have issues. You can imagine Her Excellency building houses for widows and widowers that are handicapped, visiting the less privileged all the time, providing health care facilities and programs for the less privileged. Her Excellency Mata Udom Gabriel Emmanuel, she's just one in a million. You see, this is the first time for a long while that we did an election and we didn't hear of kidnappings and killings. And that is to tell you that when a child of God is on the throne, then there is peace in the land. His Excellency, the governor, was more interested in campaigns than in rigging and things like that. And that was why there was absolute peace in Akwa Ibom State. And then the people he worked with, especially Obot, Paul Eko, the PDP chairman of Akwa Ibom State, he was always there with us and was like, look, there should be no rigging. We do not want rigging. We do not want rigging. Go and talk to your people. Talk to the old men. Talk to the youth. Talk to the women. Let them come out. There should be no rigging. There should be no it was like, and that was exactly what happened. Yes. There was certainly no rigging. We used the card readers as was explained to us. There was accreditation. There was proper voting. There was counting of the votes. There was display of the voters' register. And then at the end of every voting, at the end of every election, there was a display of the results. And everybody would be happy. In my place, we were all happy at the end of the day. We didn't know who is APC and who is PDP. All of us, after we saw the results, we joined together. We were celebrating the victory of His Excellency, the governor. For Etinan, Etinan is the man. And His Excellency, the governor, is an Iman son. So I don't think I will have much to say there, because he has done as is expected to do as an Iman son. And so we have no regret at all. So much has been done for us. So much has been done for Etinan people. For me, His Excellency should remain the person he has always been. A political leader, a spiritual leader. What is that? What am I going to tell him? Okay, maybe to say that he should continue to remain focused. And you should also be thinking of projects and programs that will benefit especially the youths. Because when I look at the youths, it is obvious that most of them are unemployed. And for me, there is no way that the state government will be able, as a state government, to employ the number of unemployed youths that we have on our streets, it is practically impossible. But he can create an enabling environment in the private sectors that can actually absorb these youths. Not, there's no way government can pay. If you bring in 10,000 youths, so say, how will you pay from the lean resources that you have from the federal government? It's practically impossible. But if you make environments conducive for private sectors to come in to the states, establish laudable programs, projects, I mean, they can absorb these youth. So I expect His Excellency to look at that direction, although he's been doing his best. So many industries, he's bringing in a lot of industries, not the state now, being the owners of these industries, but partnering with private sectors to bring in all these industries. And I think that is the way to go, and he's doing just that. So I'm believing that this second term, the first term was just a seed planting tenure. By this second term, most of the things he planted would have germinated and blossomed for all of us to see. And so I will want us to keep praying for him, keep believing in him, and I'm sure he is actually going to deliver. I know him. He's that kind of person that doesn't talk much, but he delivers.